So we now have our third and probably our final trailer for Martin Scorsese's new film, Killers of the Flower Moon, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, Lily Gladstone and Jesse Plemons. This comes after a brilliant teaser and a full trailer that I was not so keen on. It's interesting, my thoughts on the trailers for Killers of the Flower Moon are very similar to the trailers for The Irishman, Scorsese's previous. That movie had a short teaser, where we got quick shots of the actors and different things going on, a mood established. The second trailer, the first full one, whilst really good on its own, kinda sold a different film. It looked like it was trying to market The Irishman as a spiritual sequel to Goodfellas with the lightning fast tone and all the humour. It was the same with Killers. The teaser is fantastic. The full trailer, whilst well made, is really selling a film that feels like a Wolf of Wall Street prequel set 100 years ago. It's doing its job, it's marketing the film, but with early reviews telling us the movie is really slow, you can't help but feel some people are going to walk out thinking the movie was boring and nothing like what the trailer promised them. And the two films have similar stories with the third trailers. This is the best trailer for the film, I think. The teaser was excellent, but this works better as a full trailer, just like with The Irishman's third somber epic trailer. But the problem with these two trailers is that so much of the story is given away. They really do work better as a kind of summary trailers of the films, which you watch after you've seen it. Like, they practically give away the Hoffa hit in The Irishman's trailer, and here, even those not familiar with David Grann's work have probably worked out the overall story beats of the film. It's like, for example, the shot of the Osage getting drunk with the white man and getting shot by him before he drives away in the red car. That scene will be etched in my mind, and there won't be much tension when actually watching the scene because you now know how it goes down. Still though, this is more of a general issue with trailers anyway these days, so no point moaning about it here. It looks like Killers is shaping up to be quite the film. The beginning of the trailer is starting to show where some of the film's mammoth budget is going with these big shots. Is some of that landscape CGI, some of the animals? I don't know, probably. That's how it goes these days usually, but you can't tell, at least from this 2-second shot, and that's what you want, because it is something on my radar a little with Killers of the Flower Moon, CGI. I just hope Scorsese doesn't go overboard with it. And then of course Max Cady shows up. Glad we got a lot of De Niro speaking in the trailer. It appears he's basically gone back to his Cape Fear accent, and even the character he's playing, William Hale, seems to have a similar demeanour, smiling, polite and well-mannered, but hiding sinister intentions. Fitting, as Hale is probably one of the few characters De Niro has played in his career who is actually a worse person than Max Cady. So it appears the movie will frame the film around DiCaprio's character Ernest Burkhart, who is pushed by his uncle to marry into a rich Osage family, and so he marries Molly. It'll be interesting to see how the film plays it with Ernest's motivations and intentions. They could do a thing where he is basically a puppet for his uncle, or maybe he straight up rejects Hale's proposal and marries Molly for genuine reasons, who knows? It should be an interesting and complex character. The scene where De Niro asks DiCaprio if he likes women is different to where he's talking about mixing the families, so maybe it's a gradual process of breaking down his nephew. I really like the way the trailer's mood changes after just about under a minute, with DiCaprio and Gladstone at the house alone. The sudden lack of music is unsettling and tense, and her asking him why he came here implies she may be catching on to his less than pure intentions. DiCaprio seems to visit Molly's mother, and shortly after, she's dead, the implication being clear. There's talk of him being scared of his uncle. He defends Hale, calling him the nicest man he knows. Talk which is juxtaposed with images of violence and Hale's speeches about the time of the Osage being over. There are loads of quick shots of stuff which shows us the complexity of the situation in which our two main characters, Ernest and Molly, find themselves. Like Ernest being berated by his uncle, him playing with his kid, the Osage people lamenting their situation to the investigator Jesse Plemons, De Niro telling DiCaprio that he has to pick a side, and his wife saying she doesn't even know if he loves her anymore. It's interesting that a wailing noise from the first teaser, which I took to be some kind of tribal chanting or maybe even a wolf wailing, was actually the gut-wrenching cry of Lily Gladstone, who by most accounts is going to be the sleeper hit of the film, with DiCaprio and De Niro also getting praise for their performances. Scorsese and co. have done a solid job of recreating the events and scenes from the book. It does feel like what they were in your head and on the pages has been directly translated onto the screen. It's quite a good looking film too, from what we can see. I don't know, there was something about the second trailer which kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but the cinematography showcased here looked pretty good. I'm expecting big things from Scorsese and cinematographer Rodrigo Prieto. I felt like they were a little bit restricted by The Irishman because of the de-aging tech and that big massive camera they had to lumber around. And The Wolf of Wall Street had a plastic look that I chalked up as intentional given what the film's about. But Silence looked great, and they've got the cash to splash on Killers, so it would be great to get a Martin Scorsese western, which is also a great fine looking movie. Anyway, that's all about I've got to say. If you don't mind spoilers, that's a good trailer. What did you think of it? And are you looking forward to Killers of the Flower Moon? Let me know in the comments section below, and thanks for watching. Before we finish, I'd just like to thank my patrons, Nicholas Curtis, Daniel P., Alexis Vasquezem, and Stefan McManalis, and also my channel members, Michael Awatwi, Rikers, Joe Grossberg, The New On Goam 24, Lone Wanderer, Damien Irving, Stefan, Mark Patrick, and Ross Ward.